Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. If you love silver, then you gotta be subscribed. I'm actually in the middle of a giveaway right now, a silver giveaway, 35,000 subscriber giveaway, and there's still time to enter. I probably won't be closing it, picking a winner for another day or two, so make sure you guys go enter. I posted the video yesterday. I'll probably leave a link in the description or I'll post a pinned comment. Easy to find. Make sure you enter. You do not want to miss this. I'm also doing several other giveaways until I hit 40,000 subscribers. I mean, there's going to be giveaways left, right, and center. When I hit 40,000, that's the big giveaway. Over $1,000 worth of silver. You don't want to miss that. So make sure you're subscribed. I also post daily videos, some good stuff. This video, a price forecast. I love hearing people's predictions on where silver is headed. You know why? It's almost kind of funny. It's almost there's some comedic value because we really do not know what's going to happen. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody's psychic. Well, maybe some people are, but in the investing world, all that stuff gets thrown out the window. Do you think anyone last year or a couple of years ago could have predicted the price of silver? No, because we had no idea the global pandemic. No idea. That is what is so perfect about this. The unknown variable is the most important factor. So all we can do is come from a theoretical perspective and talk about scenario A, B, and C and how that could affect the price, and then weigh out the probability of each one of those happening. And I love this subject because no matter what happens, silver is going to come out on top. No matter what happens. And that's the best part. When you're investing into other things, it's like scenario A could be great for this asset or this investment, but if B or C happens, it's going to be bad. Silver is like, no matter what happens, silver is going to be one-upping everything else, including gold. And that's what this article kind of dives into is why silver is still separate and still more bullish than even its big brother, which is gold. So here's the 2021 outlook. Potential remains for further price upside. The resurgence of this virus in many countries has increased the uncertainty of forecasts for 2021. There's a lot of people, by the way, there's a lot of people, a lot of big companies, a lot of banks that are very bullish on silver this year. We're talking about Citibank, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, the Silver Institute themselves, Saxo Bank. I've covered a lot of different articles covering sources from people that usually sweep silver under the rug are coming out and saying, yo, we're looking at $50+ silver this year, which is crazy. Banks usually are bullish on gold, but not so much on silver. Why? Because gold is money to them. Silver is not. Silver is a commodity to them. Gold's an asset. That is something that I don't think people understand. Banks don't care about silver. Banks hoard silver, or banks hoard gold. Right? Silver is looked at the outcast, rebellious metal that it's kind of for the loners, for the people that have their tinfoil hats on. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but realistically, gold is the metal. If you're going to invest in precious metals from like that perspective, from big business, it's gold, not silver. So for them to say that, they obviously see silver's potential. So, let's keep picking up. So variant strains have appeared, which seems to be even more contagious, and mutations could reduce the efficiency of the vaccines. With some countries reimposing lockdowns, the steady economic recovery previously envisioned for 2021 will be less synchronized, and what economic recovery there has been following for the first wave of infections could be temporarily reversed. And that kind of goes into the unknown variable. We have no idea when or if we're going to nip this in the butt. And the time frame is so I guess, loose. I mean, some people are saying within the second quarter, things could start to recover, go back to normal. Some people are saying it's going to take a couple of years. Some people are saying it could take a decade. Who knows? We really don't know. All we can do is adjust and adapt to the time we're in right now and try to take that to our advantage, or how to invest profitably with the cards thrown at us. And that's what investors do. They make strategic decisions given the obstacles thrown at them. Gamblers just throw it and hope it sticks. But we're investors. That's why you got to be subscribed. That's why you got to get this daily dose of information, hearing the information coming at us. What's happening today? How is this affecting the price? What should we do about it? So the euro strengthened by 5% against the dollar last year, and that looks overdone. And this is interesting right here. Central banks' actions do not favor the euro over the dollar. Both Federal Reserve and the ECB are expanding their balance sheets at the same rate. The U.S. economy appears to be in a stronger position than the Eurozone, and very loose financial conditions in the U.S. relative to the Eurozone could easily tighten, which could favor the dollar. Gold and silver will continue to offer a safe haven from economic uncertainty, and the massive ongoing central bank asset purchases and increases in government spending. Quantitative easing, all this money that we're throwing out, the stimulus, the CARES package, everything that we're throwing out is only going to weaken the dollar because we have to reprint more dollars, try to make it up. It oversaturates the market. The dollar index goes down, and we know that gold and silver is directly correlated to the dollar index. So when the dollar index goes down, which is a definite, not a maybe, then gold and silver is going to go up. So I can literally guarantee, 100% guarantee you guys that precious metals will be up. That doesn't mean it's going to stay up, but there are reasons why silver will then take off even higher where gold won't. We're going to dive into that in a second, where they talk about the price forecasts. So they go into precious metals, the forecasts right here, and this is gold. And I like how they're very blunt about the forecasts right here. You see gold 2020, the average was $1,777. The low was $1,485, high 2,061, 25% change. So here's the forecast for this year. So low is $1,760, high is $2,120 an ounce. And that means gold's going to break through its all-time high yet again. Now, what's going to happen to silver if that happens? Right? Because we know that silver follows suit a couple months after, right? When gold hit that $2,000 an ounce, that was silver coming back from an $11 low in March to nearly $30 in August when gold hit this, right? That's a huge increase. $11 to $30 for silver, that's a huge increase. But if we're talking about that happening again, but then the silver shortage, right? And silver still hasn't took that explosive route yet. Like gold's like a volcano. Gold, we'll compare this to a volcano. There's two volcanoes. One is gold, one is silver. Gold, the volcano already erupted. Silver, it hasn't erupted yet. So silver is still bubbling. It's about to explode. Gold already did. So when gold surpasses its all-time high again, like it shows right here, it's not going to be too much higher because it's already, all the steam, all the anticipation's already fizzled out. But when silver explodes, especially if it hits this high again, precious metals become in the limelight, people start investing into it, pouring more money into it. It could be astronomical, right? People can't even fathom, we've never been in a situation like this. Silver's never been in a situation like this, right? We're talking about $100 silver, but ladies and gentlemen, that sounds crazy, but we're living in crazy times. Seriously, like people say I'm crazy for saying that the possibility of $100 silver is a lot more likely than people think. But look at the times we're living in. We're living in a global pandemic, throwing trillions of dollars out that we don't have in the middle of one of the most controversial elections and in the middle of a silver shortage. And a mutating virus that's getting worse, and there's going to be more lockdowns, and the mines are shut with silver. I could go on forever, and that hasn't even then we take to a whole new level with the silver demand, with 5G, electric vehicles, solar panels from Joe Biden, the green energy revolution. If I say all this stuff, and you're still hesitant on silver, or saying, oh, $50 silver, that's not possible, you're crazy. Right? If I could fast forward in the future, like 5 years from now, and look back on this time, knowing what I know, and telling, okay, let's break this down. Let's go a decade in the future, right? So we're 10 years in the future right now, and I'm telling you guys, yeah, back in 2021, there was a global pandemic, a silver shortage, naming all the things. And I was like, but people still didn't believe that silver was going to go to $50 or $100. After we already know it does, you would look back and be like, how did I not know that? It was right in front of my eyes. It was so blatantly obvious. Why was I doubting that? It was so obvious that silver was going to get to $50 or $100. Look how obvious it was, right? It's just for some reason, since we're in it right now, we doubt ourselves. Cannot doubt. You got to look at the reality of things, and the reality is pointing towards higher silver prices. Here's the precious metals forecast for silver. Last year, $20 an ounce, low was 12, high 30, 29. This year, low at 21, high of 36. And that's a good price, right? These people are definitely minimal. If silver does get $36 an ounce by the end of the year, then who knows where that could go. There's a lot of interesting things happening here, though. A lot of interesting things. We know that there is still a lot of support around $25, right? Because when silver hit 30 and it came coming from 11, when it dropped down to 25, there was a lot of stability. It did not break below that. Look at this line, right? I should have pulled up a chart of the last couple months. It's not breaking below that price, and that means that is the new normal. We're not going to see $19, $18 silver anymore. That's in the past. The days of buying silver for $15, $16 is in the past. People are desensitized to this new price as well. Now, I definitely think that $35, $40 silver is more realistic than $100 silver by the end of the year, but who knows? We never know the unknown variable or how much or to what extent it's going to affect the price. Inflation expectations have risen. Silver tends to perform better than gold when inflation picks up. It's like gold on steroids. Photovoltaic cells and silver requirements are forecast to increase. They start talking about the electronics, the solar panels. The global silver supply is predicted to rebound, like I said in a couple videos ago. Production is increased, I think, like 2% higher this year, which is the first time it's actually in the green. Last 7 years, they've been cutting back silver by a lot, like hundreds of millions of ounces. This year it's in the green because they realize that there's a massive silver shortage. And then we're talking about how silver is likely to outperform gold again this year, trading in a range between $36 and $21. Silver outperformed gold last year, taking the gold to silver ratio from 84 to 71. It was actually as high as 125 to 1 in March. Now it's around 72. Around 72. Silver was actually the number one performing asset in 2020. Nobody talks about that, though. And I'm not comparing that to gold and platinum, palladium. Silver was the number one performing asset out of any investment, stocks, all that, crypto. Silver was the number one performing. Why does nobody talk about that? They try to sweep it under the rug. Now, when I'm talking about silver's potential, I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to sound like a silver pumper, right? $50, $100 silver, not likely going to happen this year. $35, $40 silver is possible, definitely. But I think silver's real price is going to take off once the green energy gets kicked in the movement, once, the stimulus starts catching up to us, once all the overspending or the excessive spending, all that goes into play, then we're going to see silver separate from gold and take on a life of its own. The places, the areas that gold won't benefit where silver will is when we're going to see silver start to bridge that gap. Gold isn't used in the industrial side. For all these things that they're talking about right here, only silver is going to be benefiting from this. And that's why they even go into the last paragraph. That's why silver is going to outperform gold. When all this starts to kick into play, that's when we're going to start seeing these higher silver prices. Until then, yeah, we're going to see $30, $35 silver. But when this starts to kick in, which will be probably later in the year, could be sooner. We're seeing some very interesting decisions from the Biden, the Biden side of things. So we'll see. Take things as they come day by day. All I know is I'm going to keep you guys informed on a day-to-day basis of what's happening. So you got to be subscribed. And I also saw something else interesting I wanted to bring up, kind of going along with what we're talking about. This is from CNBC, which was interesting as it is, but it's talking about how silver as important to industry. New demand drivers will be a boon to silver, strategists said. U.S. President Biden's Green New Deal, for instance, is a strong demand driver for silver, which has seen substantial growth and investment demand in the past 12 months. This stuff goes on and on. Just another thing we can throw in talking about silver's potential, right? When we're looking at the reality versus, possibility, or when we're trying to look at, theory versus reality, we have to look at the reality. People can theorize and say, well, this could happen or this. I'm looking at what's actually happening, what's in place, and how that's going to affect it, right? I'm looking at it, the reality of the situation, and all the signs show that silver is going to come out on top. What do you guys think silver's price is going to be by the end of the year? You think it's going to be in like the $20 range or the $50 range or higher? I would love to know your answer on that. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. post daily videos. Make sure you also enter my 35,000 subscriber giveaway. I want to see your name on that list. I want to so bad. I want a lot of people to enter that. I want every single person that watches my videos to get a chance to win some free silver, because you guys deserve that. That's how much I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.